Good morning, workout buddies, and welcome to the video that nobody wants to have to make. I have been vegan for about 3.5 years, a little bit more, and it's been a journey of some really extreme highs, but it's also been a journey of the lowest lows that I've ever been through with my health, and I've been sharing a good portion of that journey with you guys. As you can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be adding some animal products back into my diet to see if that will help cure the symptoms I've been experiencing. I don't know if it's going to, quite honestly. I'm gonna try it for about 30 days and see if that helps. If it doesn't, obviously I'll go back to eating a plant-based diet. If it does help, I feel like I will have my life back. I'm not gonna go full carnivore or anything crazy. I'll still be eating mostly plant-based meals, but I will several times a week and maybe even a couple times a day be adding in some high-quality animal products. In hindsight, I'm so grateful I've been documenting this journey. I took the last couple of weeks and I've been looking back at a lot of my old videos, and I've been breaking down my macro and micronutrients to kind of maybe see where I went wrong along the way. There have been a lot of vegan YouTubers who have come out saying they're now eating animal products, and most of the criticism of them is that they're not eating enough calories and not eating the right amount of nutrients. A lot of them were raw vegans, and I've been questioning whether or not I should eat meat for a long time now. I've been battling with it. It's really been a struggle because I really want to stay vegan, and I've been trying to tweak my diet and basically make it as perfect as possible in order to get enough nutrients and feel amazing on a day-to-day, or just not feel like shit, basically. I don't need to feel amazing every day, but I just don't want to be extremely tired and fatigued where I have to nap every day, and it's very hard for me to live a normal life. But as I was saying, I'm really happy that I've kind of chronicled this whole journey because I've gone back and I've watched a ton of my old videos. I've been putting all my meals into Chronometer to see what I might be lacking within my vegan journey. I started doing a 12-week challenge, and I was showing you guys everything I did during the day as far as workouts go and everything I ate. And I was feeling so amazing for about the first 10 months of being vegan. And then all of a sudden, I completely crashed. My body just completely broke down. I shared this with you guys, and a lot of you were saying, hey, that sounds like Lyme disease. And I was like, Lyme disease, what is that? And I have had in the past big bites on my leg. I assumed it was a spider bite at the time, but then I was like, oh, what if it was a tick bite? So I contacted some Lyme disease specialists and took some tests. Here's a video from back in May 2016, so you can kind of see where I was at that point. So I just got off the phone with a Lyme disease specialist. She's like, I'm 100% sure you have Lyme disease just based on my symptoms alone. And she took a look at the picture I sent her of the bite I got about a year ago. She's like convinced that I have Lyme disease. She's gonna send me a blood test, and I'm gonna take a blood test. The test came back negative, but they said that that happens a lot and you can still have Lyme disease even if the tests come back negative. So how confusing is that? So for a long time, I thought I had Lyme disease. I had been diagnosed based on my symptoms, no positive test, but they say that tests often don't come back positive. So I took a break from YouTube. I took a few weeks off, and then I started feeling okay again. So I started coming back onto YouTube. You'll notice you'll see me on YouTube for a while and then I'll dip off. And that's because I'm experiencing some extreme crazy symptoms. And then I'll rest and I'll recuperate and then I'll come back. And I've been riding this roller coaster for my whole vegan journey, quite honestly. So I came back and I started feeling great and started sharing what I was eating. During this off time, I learned that you need to supplement B12 and vitamin D3. So at the beginning of my vegan journey, I was eating the right amount of proteins, vitamins, minerals. All my micro and macronutrients were spot on except for B12 and D3. So I started supplementing those, and I was like, oh, well, maybe that's what it is. I got back to feeling good, posting videos. Then all of a sudden, all those symptoms came back, and guess what? I disappeared from YouTube again. Obviously, it's very difficult for me to share what I ate in a day videos. If I'm not feeling great, I'm not about to share what I'm doing with other people. That just doesn't make sense. At this time, I had learned that my grandmother had lupus toward the end of her life. So then I was like, oh my gosh, I wonder if I have lupus. And just around that time, I came across a woman named Dr. Brooke Goldnar, who wrote a book called Goodbye Lupus. And I started drinking her green smoothies, not just because I thought I had lupus or something, but she has cured a lot of people with autoimmune disorders with this green smoothie, basically because you're getting a lot of your greens in for the day and you're getting in a high dose of omega-3s. She wants you to add chia seeds or flax seeds to your smoothies. So this is where I learned about the importance of omega-3s, and especially the the importance of a high omega-3 to an omega-6 balance in your diet. So basically ever since then, for the last 2.5 years, I've been drinking a green smoothie with either chia seed or flaxseed in it every single morning. There are a couple days here and there where I would have pancakes instead, but I'd always add in chia seeds to those. So I've made sure to get a proper amount of omega-3s into my diet. And when I started drinking these green smoothies, I noticed a drastic improvement in my health. I was feeling so amazing, feeling good, feeling good, feeling good again. Back on YouTube, here I am. Let's do this, sharing what I've learned. I've been sharing my supplements, all my food, feeling groovy, feeling really, really good, and cruising along, and then crash. So every time I would crash, I would have a lot of downtime. I'd be in bed. I'd have to call out of work for a couple weeks. And during this time, I would study nutrition and try and find out the best way to eat. I was drinking these green smoothies, high in omegas. I was taking my B12 and D3. I was doing Dr. Greger's Daily Dozen just to make sure I was getting in the proper amount of nutrients. I also found this app called Chronometer, and I started logging everything I was eating into Chronometer, making sure I was getting enough iodine, biotin, D3, iron, B12, lysine, all the proteins that you need. Making sure I was getting those on a daily basis. Like, I was getting very meticulous about it because I was taking my health very, very seriously, and I really wanted to thrive on this vegan diet. Yes, I went vegan for health reasons, but I definitely became more ethically and environmentally aware during this process. And so that gave me even more motivation to figure out what was going on with me within the vegan diet. So I started feeling good again, and guess what? I'm back on YouTube sharing my story. Here I am. Let's do this. Let's do another 12-week challenge. But now the crashes started happening, you know, every couple weeks. I was just crashing. Life was good otherwise. I was logging things into Chronometer. Based on that, I should be getting adequate nutrition. So then I started looking into how to better absorb nutrients into your diet. And I started adding stuff like apple cider vinegar into my diet, and I would eat a lot of sauerkraut with meals to make sure that I'm getting those probiotics in. I started adding in dairy-free yogurts and things like that. And then there's a point where I had a really, really big crash, and I was like, well, maybe I need to go raw vegan. Maybe I'm not cleansing my body enough. I had seen a lot of people on YouTube benefit from the raw vegan diet. So I went raw vegan for 1 month. And the first week or so, I felt horrible. I felt completely horrible. But then I started feeling more energy. I felt amazing. I was feeling really, really good for 3 weeks. And then what do you know? I crashed again. And I was logging all my nutrients into Chronometer during this time, making sure that even on a raw vegan diet that I was getting in dulse flakes for my iodine. I was getting plenty of nuts and seeds to make sure I was getting in enough healthy proteins and fats. And I was treating it more as a cleanse. It wasn't going to be like a long-term thing. I just wanted to cleanse my body and see if that helped. So I took a long and much needed break from YouTube. I actually got a new job and didn't really have time to post anymore. And then fast forward a little bit, I moved to Idaho. I was feeling great. It was like a new start, a fresh start, and I was feeling so excited about doing another 12-week challenge. And then my health crashed, and I just completely kind of had a mental breakdown because I was getting so much good momentum with my channel, and I was able to work out every day. I was feeling really, really good. And when I crashed this time, it was just different. I just knew I had to do something different. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over and expect to get different results. But as you can see by those videos, I was logging everything into Chronometer. I was eating well over 2,800 calories a day. At this time, I also went in and got my blood work tested. I wasn't anemic, but my ferritin and iron were really, really low, but everything else was in a healthy range, including thyroid, B12, folate, all that stuff. I told myself then, I'm gonna supplement with iron. I've been taking Floridix for the last 3 months, and I changed my diet up to where I'm eating really high iron foods. I took tea out of my diet because that can interfere with the absorption of iron. I started eating vitamin C with my iron to make sure I wasn't eating too much calcium with my high iron meals, and basically just doing everything I can to raise up my levels. I know it takes a long time to raise your iron levels, but I wanted to start feeling better, feeling back to myself within 3 months. And if that didn't happen, I knew I wanted to add some animal products back into my diet just to see if that has been the missing link in my health for the last 4 years. Like, maybe I didn't have Lyme disease or lupus at all. Maybe I just was deficient because of my diet. One thing I'm looking at too is my stress levels increased a little bit while posting YouTube videos, especially because I was on top of working a full-time job. So I'm posting, and then I've crashed. Posting, and then crash. However, I've been doing YouTube for the last 10 years now, and I've never experienced these crashes before. Yes, I'd experienced little times of fatigue and burnout, but it's never gotten to the point where my body just doesn't function. I can't get out of bed, having vision problems, memory loss, brain fog, like really, really intense, scary, and serious symptoms. I haven't shared those times with you because, like, who wants to get on the internet and share that with people, especially when I just want to share positivity. But I think it's really important to share my full journey with you guys, because maybe my experience can help somebody else in the same situation or help them avoid that sort of situation. A lot of people are saying, hey, maybe you shouldn't exercise 5 days a week. That's probably the culprit. However, I'm a personal trainer. I've been in sports my whole life. I've worked out 5 days a week almost my whole entire life. Of course, I've gone through lulls and I've taken times off, but never in my life have I experienced symptoms like this based on my training. Yes, a little fatigue and like, hey, I need to give my body 2 weeks to relax. That kind of thing has happened, but never an extreme to where I feel like I have an autoimmune disorder or have some kind of chronic illness. Also, something to note, when I got my blood work done, I had no inflammation in my body, so there's no real sign of chronic illness, and that was really eye-opening to me because this whole time I thought these symptoms were due to a chronic illness. Chronic illness just means that you've been sick for a long duration of time. So technically I do have chronic illness, but what is the cause? My doctors didn't seem to think there was any reason to get tested for any sort of autoimmune disorder because my inflammation markers were really, really low. I'm still not ruling that out because I don't know. But what I do know is it feels right for me to try adding animal products back into my diet to see if that helps. I feel like I've exhausted everything I can think of or everything that I've learned. I feel like I've learned so much about how to eat a healthy, whole food, vegan diet. And I've been implementing that for the last 2 years, very specifically logging stuff into Chronometer, making sure I'm hitting all my nutrient marks, and maybe adding meat and eggs into my diet doesn't help. Maybe it makes matters worse. I don't really know, but I know I need to try it to see. And if it doesn't work, I'll go back to a plant-based diet and look into other options and try and figure out what's going on from there. But this just feels like the right thing for me to do at this point. So starting tomorrow, I'm going to add salmon into my diet. So hopefully this will help. I just want to thank you guys for sharing in this journey so far. If you're here because you're vegan and we got this like vegan sisterhood thing going on, I completely understand if you don't want to, you know, continue in my journey. I know there are a lot of people out there, unlike me, who are vegan for ethical reasons and not for health reasons, and I totally get where you're coming from, and I understand if you don't want to be a part of my journey. But for those of you who want to continue with me, I'm so grateful. You guys have been such a great source of strength for me throughout this whole journey. And of course, this journey wasn't all bad. There were some really amazing times. I feel like I'm almost there with my diet. A vegan diet seriously has given me so much. It's helped me shed weight. It's got rid of my acne. It's made me more aware of what's going on in the world. And I'm very appreciative for this whole journey. I'm hoping that just by tweaking my diet just a little bit, I'll be getting in the nutrients that I need, that I can absorb easily, and we'll be off and running from here. We'll see, but I'll keep you guys posted. I'm gonna be posting Monday, Wednesday, Friday videos on here until I start feeling a lot better, and then yeah, I'll just keep you guys posted with my journey. In Wednesday's video, I'm gonna be trying meat and eggs for the first time. I'm gonna be trying different types of workouts and all sorts of new fun stuff. So for those of you who are gonna continue in my journey, I'm really grateful that you're here. And just like anybody's journey, there's gonna be ups and downs. I'm really excited to see what happens in the future, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you loved it, share it with your friends. We'll see you on Wednesday.